The new sink is here. The next thing I'm going to do is replace that kitchen sink. I'm so excited. As it turns out, I was able to find a sink large as possible to fit inside the box, the cabinet box. It's got walls, 3 walls, and the door. I don't have to cut this cabinet box. All I have to do, after I remove the old sink trap, get this faucet out of here, I'm gonna put a new faucet in. All I have to do is just cut this a little bit larger, drop the sink right in. Should be no problem. This is actually an undermount sink, like the one that's here. But to get a larger sink in here, you just can't work with an undermount. You need this flange up on top to sit on this space rather than underneath. So this is an undermount sink, but it's got a finished flange up here and it's a smooth edge. So I don't have to worry about that. All I gotta do, I can leave this countertop here. I'm so thrilled about that. All I have to do is cut this hole and put it in. It should be a piece of cake, mama. All right, the first thing we're gonna do here is empty the cabinet. Clips for the tablecloth out on the picnic table. Very cute. Now this is a real nice tip. Lavender. I spray the outside of the screens with lavender at night. Bugs don't like lavender, so they don't come even near the screens. I really soak them up with this from the outside. Then I pour a cup of this on the inside. Just leave an open cup of this lavender stuff. And then I slice a lemon and put the lemon, let the lemon float in here. It creates a vapor that the bugs don't like. I'm in a war with those bugs. I tell you, they're winning. So we'll get all this stuff out. Paper towels. Here's my dish drainer. See this? Plastic. Folds up, dish drainer, silverware. I'm not gonna need that in the new van because I'm gonna have a built-in stainless steel dish drainer at my sink. You'll see, you'll all see. Look at this. I don't have a problem, do I? I got 4 things of Windex here. I gotta see a doctor about this. I think it's getting serious. All right, let's take a look around in here. So what I'm doing before we get going on this is I got my box bit and I'm taking these hinge screws out. I want to remove the door so it doesn't get in our way. I think there's a way to quick release these hinges so you didn't have to unscrew them, but I don't know what that is. But I do see now there's a little tab back here. I wonder if that's not how this is done. There might be a way to pop this hinge and part of it stays on the frame and the door comes off. I don't know. Subscribers, viewers, if you know what the deal is there, please comment below so we can all learn from that. Another thing you should always do is get yourself one of these assorted sets of bits and whatnot. I'm going to get all this stuff out of here now because I think it's going to get ugly in here right away. Let's take a look inside this cabinet, underneath the sink. I'm going in handheld, so we might all get seasick. Look at all that extra space on the left side there. See that marbleized surface? That's the underside of the countertop. It doesn't look like there's any mounting clips under here. I think all they did was silicone this thing in from underneath. That just looks like a little support piece of Luan and nothing but silicone. No clips. So the sink I bought is going to almost hit the left side of this cabinet box. I told you, I went as big as I possibly could go. Go big or go home, right? Look at all that room. Couldn't they put a bigger sink in there at the factory? Huh? Hey, that looks like the microwave cabinet. I'm not jumping in there. That was a fiasco. So you ask, what are you going to do with that outlet, genius? Well, I'm going to take the slack in that line and move the outlet through into the drawer box and mount it on the outside near my folding cocktail table. You can't make a good margarita without a blender. So, I'm doing this for the first time with you. There's been no testing. So I got my little razor blade here, and I'm going to go in gently and just start getting around there. See where I could get in, cut away that silicone. It didn't take me long to realize this little utility blade wasn't going to work. Not at all. I needed to bring out the big guns, the multi-cutter. Even that tool had a hard time getting through all that silicone. I had to be very careful not to damage, chip, or crack the countertop. Oh, I fully expected to do something wrong and then have to replace the whole Megillah. But it worked. I got that little bowl out with no problems. When I look at this old sink, it seems to me that it is actually a drop-in sink that they mounted under the countertop. If they would have dropped this sink in from the top in the beginning, it would have made my life a whole lot easier now. The next step is to remove the faucet. Here's the access space to try to get in there and unscrew the hot and cold water lines. But there's another little access point in the next cabinet over, alongside the propane cooktop. I decided to open up the whole area to make this job that much easier to complete. So off came the protective metal grill. I decided to remove the back wall of that cabinet as well. Why not? This gives us a rare opportunity to peek inside the walls and see what's going on in there. That's the rear end of the freshwater fill compartment. I must say, Pleasureway put this van together 6 years ago, and it's bone dry in here. Not one bit of evidence there was ever any water intrusion. Now it's time to lay that big monster down and start marking its position. This outer pencil line is the outer edge of the flange on the sink. We're going to see the sink. This, I got to make my cut between these two lines, favoring this line, favoring this closer line right here. Can you see that? Pencil line is the outer edge. This is the cut line, but I'm probably going to be cutting, maybe 1/8 of an inch in from there all the way around. Give me a little wiggle room. My parameters were I need to have enough meat left on this counter edge here. There's not a lot. So I kind of pushed it to the back. I don't have a lot of room back here for the flange, but the cut's over here. So you can see I'm using this edge from the old sink, and I could have used that edge, but that would have meant that the sink would be coming forward this way. It'd be too close to this edge, and I'm afraid this would weaken and split. So I put it towards the back. There's a cleat back there. There's a piece of wood that's glued right behind that cut. Beautiful, perfect. One problem I noticed right off the bat, see this vent down here? Let me put a light on it for you, tough guy. See this vent? That's elbowed out. I believe that's going to be in the way of my sink. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just make it, because this sink is 9 inches deep, a lot deeper than the other one. So I may have to repipe that vent, swing it over here so it's out of the way. Same thing with this trap. We'll see. No big deal. It's a piece of cake.